Charlie Stocker, HeyGardenGuy.com, Hey Garden Guy Charlie Stocker, Facebook and YouTube. We're going to get right into looking at raised bed gardening, and we defined it simply as a means of raising the soil up away from the soil that you have now that's existing and create a healthy, well-drained soil condition for plants to grow at their optimum. Okay? Now, what are the advantages of a raised bed garden as you kind of make your decision as to whether you want to start small or large with this whole raised bed garden idea? Number one, you can work your garden at eye level. Now, what's the advantage of working it at eye level? You can see pests and insects and problems with fungus and bacteria that you normally wouldn't see if you were looking down from the bleachers, okay? That's number one. Number two, you can work in your raised bed without changing the structure of the soil itself. In other words, you're not compacting further the soil that you're dealing with by working in the soil, but you're working around with the raised bed. Number three, you can start planting earlier than you would normally plant. Number four, you create a drainage that you normally would not have in your gardens, in your vegetable gardens that you have now. No bending over. Us old people, as we look at things to make life easier for us, if we don't have to bend over in our vegetable garden, so much the better. And finally, actually, raised beds are really aesthetically attractive. You can make them in squares, you can make them in rectangles, T's, ovals, circles, and as you decide the type of material you want to use, the sky is the limit, and we're going to talk about that in one of the other sessions. But know that they can really be attractive. Those are the advantages, and you can go back over them. The disadvantages are raised bed gardening can be expensive, depending on what materials you use. Secondly, the disadvantage of raised bed gardens is it's more subject to extremes in temperature, heat and cold. It's to a degree more subject to dry out. Another disadvantage in terms of raised bed gardens is if you've decided where you're going to put that raised bed, and then down the road, maybe 2 or 3 years, for some reason, you need to move it. Well, as you well know, that can be a problem in and of itself. So I just want to point out the advantages and the disadvantages. But if you still say, Charlie, I'm in this with you, I want to see what we can do in terms of raised beds, stay tuned because we're going to be talking about it more. But just know that it gives you a control over the health of your soil for the betterment of your plants. This is Charlie Stocker with HeyGardenGuy.com, raising your garden IQ one question at a time.